we're talking about TikTok. Just, somewhat breaking news. The Trump administration considers banning TikTok and other Chinese social media apps, as India has banned 50 plus Chinese apps, and they're in a little bit of a skirmish on the border there. The FTC and the Justice Department are looking into allegations that TikTok failed to delete accounts for children under 13, violating a 2019 agreement. And last week, India banned these 59 apps. And that ban could lose ByteDance $6 billion in revenue. Mike Pompeo, when he talked about banning Chinese apps, said, especially TikTok, and the quote was, "I don't want to get out in front of the president, but it's something we're looking at." TikTok is owned by ByteDance, and it's been accused of being a security threat because obviously it's got ties to China. If you run a business in China, you're in business with the CCP, which stands for the Chinese Communist Party. TikTok, of course, claims they operate separately from ByteDance, and the data centers are located out of China, and that it's not subject to Chinese law, which is absolutely ridiculous. They had 315 million downloads in the first quarter of 2020, which is extraordinary. They're past 2 billion downloads. They had the most quarterly downloads of any app, according to Sensor Tower Analytics. 60% of the users are between the age of 16 and 24. And bizarrely, the former head of Disney Plus, Kevin Mayer, was named the CEO. I don't know why an American would become the CEO of a company from a communist country. That seems insane. But the inside scoop is that he felt he should have been the CEO of Disney. So he took this job, which, I'm sure he is regretting at this point. Alex, any thoughts on this story? And then Morgan, I'll get yours.
Normally, when I come on the show, I have like one strong opinion about things. In this case, I'm a little bit torn. One, I agree with your notes about Chinese companies and the CCP and how that government runs the country and how it has eyes into everything that happens commercially, because that's how you censor and kind of run an information control in the entire country. On the other hand, China has banned so many U.S. services over the years. I'm hesitant to begin to follow suit. I wonder if there's a middle path here that involves looking into the possible data breach, fines, restrictions, doubling down on data segregation between different countries, and finding some sort of middle ground, and not just following suit between a putatively communist country and an increasingly nationalistic India. It doesn't seem to be the approach that I like. And also I don't like Mike Pompeo, the personal bias there. So I'm torn.
Is part of the challenge of this is, the Trump administration might have a reason for doing this that might have more to do with, Morgan, to your point, this next generation, which is using TikTok. So now we've got this very multi-layered, nuanced issue, do we not, with young people love this platform?
Well, I guess my question is really, what's the responsibility of Apple and Google for the information that's passed through? I mean, to me, that seems like something more in our control as companies that are actually headquartered here in the United States.
Yeah. And they let it into the app stores. Of course, what percentage of the users actually know it's a Chinese app?
Not many. Very few.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Or very few. I don't.
No way. The average girl running around dancing, she has no idea that this is owned.
What if we did TikToks about how TikTok is owned by ByteDance? What if we use the platform to spread awareness of the issue?
They don't know what ByteDance is.
Right. I wonder, actually, this would be an interesting test. If we did, okay, listen, I got a lot of followers. This is a message to my followers, those 3% of you who are just, very enthusiastic, let's say. One of my enthusiastic followers, please run a couple of experiments for me. I would like you to run a series of TikToks featuring Tiananmen Square and the history of Tiananmen Square. And let's see how long it lasts. And then I would like you to inspire everybody to use the hashtag Tiananmen Square or remember Tiananmen Square. And let's see if we can trend it. And to producer Nick and Sir Charles, can we clip this? And let's see if we can trend Tiananmen Square on TikTok. And let's put some music behind it. And let's make a really powerful, impactful, trending Tiananmen Square. And then we'll find out exactly who's running TikTok. How's that sound, everybody?
A reasonable test.
I'm with it. I'll retweet.
I think my trolling skills just went to 11.
And also, you're never going to China now. You're just never
you know
going
what?
to go
Actually,
back.
I've been so critical, Alex. It's interesting you mentioned that. My book got translated into Chinese. It's right over here behind my head on this side. And I went to Hong Kong, and I told my friend, Mike Savino, who was with me, when I was on book tour there, I said, I'm not going to mainland China because I've been a bit critical and I'm a little concerned about my safety because I don't want to be that schmuck who's like the first American who gets picked up. And that was during the Huawei stuff when Canada had picked up the daughter of the CEO and whatever. It's like some ugliness going on with that. And I was like, and now I did a speaking gig last night in Hong Kong remote. And I was like, I don't think I can go to Hong Kong.
No, not with the new law.
Yeah. I guess that's all for me. Yeah, kind of a bummer. If you had to choose, allow TikTok, knowing the Chinese government had access to the data. Let's just assume that is 100% certain they have the keys to the kingdom. If we know, Alex, they have the keys to the kingdom, should, putting your obvious feelings about Trump aside, and my feelings, and I'm going to assume Morgan's, putting aside the Trump administration. Let's just pretend it was the Obama administration or the Kanye administration in 6 months. Should we ban TikTok if we knew the government had access to it? Yes or no, Alex?
I'm going to answer that in the annoying way of not giving you one word answer. Here's a
somebody still wants
question.
to go to Shanghai.
No, I'm good. I mean, Shanghai was lovely, but I'm not going to go back until the government's different. The NSA is grafted onto AT&T and the fiber of the American internet. It's kind of a generally accepted statement.
Yep.
And they can just yank in all the data from the American internet, let alone any particular app.
And then they have a warrant to get inside of it. Yep.
Again, how much faith do you have in those little legal defenses they set up? I think the Snowden leak showed us they were much more adventurous than they claimed to be.
Sure.
Should Europe ban American apps that are too close to the U.S. government, or the companies that own them are too close to the U.S. government? I would say no to that. I would hope the answer is no. The question then becomes, is the Chinese government in such a large risk that this is required? And I think that my views have changed since the implementation of the recent security law in Hong Kong. I think now, given that, and their rules they've set in place that go pan global, I think the answer is probably yes. And my friends love TikTok. They send me TikToks all the time. I laugh at them. It's lovely. I just deleted the app myself, but probably is the best I can get on that, Jason. Sorry for being so.
Morgan, where do you stand on it? If we knew that they were looking at it,
it depends on who I'm solving for. I think if I'm solving for like being an American and democracy, etc., then yes. If I think that the country and America and the government really protects us, me, my people, which I don't believe right now. So then I say, no, give the people what they want. And it's the responsibility of the people we pay with our taxes to keep us safe and figure it out.
And young people are probably freaking out right now. To entrepreneurs, man, if you thought you wanted to create a competitor, now would be a great time to do it, because I'm going to put the odds at 80%. And by the way, the other thing that I thought was interesting, and I don't know if you heard this stuff, Morgan, was that the folks at TikTok were not picking black people to be featured as dancers, and were picking white people and skinny people. And
it's bad.
It was kind of gnarly.
On it now. Certainly, a lot of companies have been called out recently, and a lot of people are looking at stuff. Lizzo called out TikTok a while ago for kind of like the
algorithm and the fat shaming.
Yeah, the algorithm, right? So,
but the algorithm
doing this forever. I mean, Twitter. I love Twitter. I love Jack Dorsey. Twitter absolutely suppressed Black voices back in the day. I don't know if you guys ever remember. Black people used to trend like every night.
Absolutely. You and I talked about it, I think, on the pod. Was like there was actually, I heard the internal discussion about this, which was, people are confused by Black Twitter because you keep trending stuff that we don't understand. And so we're like, can somebody explain to me why the top 10 things are,
Scandal.
Words I don't know? And it's like, well, you're going to know them in about 3 to 6 months because Black culture is culture. Like,
exactly.
Let's be honest.
But there was a time when that was always stuff was always trending at like 6 o'clock, late night Twitter. And then it's all of a sudden we stopped trending. How? Yeah. Not because we stopped talking.
It's because they localized it. And then they made it part of who you follow. So they did the whole echo chamber thing.